Hello everyone, and welcome back to our Fractured Feather Flock with our Wild Goose Chase Nicheling Challenge. We are carrying on right where we left off last time, so be sure to check the video description for a link to our Google document with the rules and guidelines, and a link to our playlist with previous episodes if you would like to follow along and figure out what's going on. But we are going to carry on with Dove, who has become victorious over the family territory with its abundant food resources over her sister Tross, and has decided to take Zabidi as a mate. They are doing their courtship dance in the waters right now, but so far they are not having any luck with figuring out how to kind of work together. We're working on it. Hopefully we will have some good results soon. And meanwhile, we have Lark doing his best to try to help the tribe by unlocking Platypus Beak. Very important if we are going to be able to kind of keep the beak genes strong in our tribe for our Goose Challenge. Having Platypus Beak is our biggest goal, but I will accept normal bird beak as kind of like a beak backup if needed. So we're working on unlocking both of those, and we are also trying to find love for Tross, who is going to come over and establish herself in a new territory outside of the range of her sister's territory. She concedes the defeat at her sister's hands, or wings, I should say, with grace. She wanted the family territory because it's so already established, it's already got a good foothold so that you can see what's going on, it's already got a lot of food, it had some helpers in it so that you could like keep dad around and keep Io around for as long as he wanted to stay to help. But she's not afraid to establish her own territory, and she's not bitter towards her sister Dove. May the best bird win, basically. And then, of course, we are back here with our wonderful Robin and Fachine, two best friends who have been searching for their own mates for most of their life, and I'm beginning to fear they shall never find them. All of the action happens over in the territory that Dove now controls, but that means that the girls can't stay over there. They need to establish their own territory. So this is turning out to be really fun with the territory challenges that we made up. So let's carry on. Will we have any better luck in the rain between these two? As the BD tells Dove, yes! How his heart has been stolen by her. Huzzah! There we go, you guys. Okay, well, I'm hoping as a BD will actually pass on medium body. He has a big body, and that actually prevents flying, so we don't want that. We really don't want that. So I want him to pass on medium body and wing, actually. Everybody gets at least one wing gene because this is going to be like a wing tribe, unless you don't need to worry about passing it on in which you already have wings, like Dove. And for Dove, I want her to possibly pass on, I think Dove really likes the waterways, so maybe Fishing Tail, and Fishing Tail would be good. For her, oh geez, they're gonna lose the white gene, I just realized, but I have to, you know, you gotta make some sacrifices and decisions at some point. I think I'm gonna go with, yeah, fishing for now, and then hopefully we can get that platypus beak unlocked at some point. So I'm gonna let her descendants have Fishing Tail in the hopes that they will be able to make the most out of the waterways. That seems good to me. Alright, so they can at least get some food on their own. Because right now she can't really, other than worms, harvest any kind of food on her own. But alright, it's a success! These two can start heading— what are you doing over here, Nightmare? They can start heading back home. And in a deep show of grace, we can forgive Nightmare for having invaded our territory. I'll go ahead and accept her into the tribe. But then she has to immediately leave Dove's territory, which is probably going to be a very long walk indeed. Alright, get out of here. Alright, and we'll have Zabidi come up to his mate. Oh dear. And Dove now that she's pregnant, she has to stay in her nest until she gives birth to represent roosting on the egg that she has hidden in her little pouch flap. Alright, so there's that. Where is the edges of her territory now? The 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Really far. So I'm gonna actually have Io help the family out by going into the edges. Wow, yeah, that's a big old territory. And Lark is going to help the family out by continuing to search for noodle doodles. No, Lark, don't drown! Oh dear. I didn't mean for him to, like, almost start drowning. Tross. I'm going to have her continue to work her way over to the tree, which I think is going to be her salvation. And then Robin, my dear, I just don't know if you're ever going to get a mate. I'm beginning to despair, I won't lie. I don't know if, they're really running out of time to have a mate, those two. Alright. Meanwhile, Nightmare, you're welcome to join because I do think Dove thinks that adding new members to the flock is useful. But you're not allowed, you have to be in communal territory. You are not allowed to stay in Dove's territory. Well, unless you're family. Yeah, unless you're family. That's just the way it is. So get out. Like, I guess get out and no collecting food while you go should probably be the rule. Alright, so she needs to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. She needs to be way out in the, like, middle of the boondocks to get out of this territory. My gosh. Alright, Dove, you can go ahead and try to eat that. And Zbidi, he'll come over and gather up food with his mate. There we go. And Io, you can help. Oh, there you go. You can help with defending the territory. Yay, another noodle doodle. Alright, Lark, don't drown, please. So Lark's just gonna travel around eating worms in his old age. That sounds like something he would do. And Tross, see, this is why Tross was really hoping she could defeat her sister. Because, whew. Ooh, but look at how abundant this is. And she has a coconut tree. So 1, 2, 3, 4 babies that she could have 5 babies with this berry tree. Like back to back to back if she needed to. Alright. So I think she's happy with her territory, but she feels a bit of a loss that she's been slowed down by having to establish her own. Alright, meanwhile, Robin, go ahead. Just keep clearing stuff, you two. I wish you could call for a mate, but I don't think you can. And let's carry on. There we are. Alright, Nightmare. I'll let you go ahead and just continue. I'll let her, like, kind of, when she bumps into a food resource, point it out. But otherwise, she just has to keep going to get out of the territory. And then Zbidi, you go ahead and harvest up some food. Oh, Dove, you managed to crack open that nut. Good job. And little Io can help his family out by, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 10 is kind of like at this edge. I think we'll just say it's like the bigger your territory, the more it's kind of like a loose edge, because this is ridiculous. All right, there you go, Lark. Ooh, he's found lots of worms. And I think both girls would allow their father in their territory. Meanwhile, Tross can go ahead and she's gonna start calling for a mate over here. Lucky duck. She can actually, or Goose, she can actually call for mates. And Robin, I mean, Robin's getting to the point where I think she's kind of accepting that there's not gonna be a mate, but she's had a happy life, so she might as well just eat all she can. That's the way Robin's gonna view things. All right, you two. Oh, and these two are actually the new alphas. Because they did defeat, they're equal with, Zbidi counts as alpha because he is Dove's mate. And then the other alpha, really pretty equally as Tross. There can usually only be one alpha though. And because she lost in battle to her sister, she's a beta. Let's see. And the only omega in the group, Nightmare, I need to calculate, and we're gonna rename Nightmare, I think, to Chisel. That sounds like a good name for her. And her strength, she is brown horn recessive. She has normal body. So her strength is actually going to be 3. She doesn't have any of the white bodied genes. She has one of the genes, brown and red for horns is what you need to make orange. She doesn't have webbed hind legs. She doesn't have wings. She doesn't have a beak. So she only has the perk that she has brown horns. And she has 2 strength. So she is actually the new Omega of the whole tribe. And Robin has actually been bumped up to a beta. Wow. All right. Where are we headed now? Okay. So let's see. Dad shall continue his quest to find lots and lots of noodle doodle worms. Io will continue his quest to help his sister. I guess I'm just gonna send Chisel, especially because she's the beta, she's just gonna have to go all the way out to the boondocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. She's still not outside of Dove's territory. She's very lucky Dove is distracted and busy. Have we unlocked Digging Paw yet? I don't think we have. So this is good with having babies. All right, meanwhile, we've got so much food. Zabiti's just taking care of things too. All right, and I think we need to like clear the ground, and then Tross can go ahead and call for a mate. So she might clear, call. There's plenty of food. We just need boys. We've needed those for a long time. And yeah, I think Robin's ready to just kind of like retire in her old age, eat all she wants, and Fachine just wants to tidy up the area. At least they had their best friend their whole life, right? All right. A baby! Oh my gosh, she's like a little peach. Look at her. Oh, look at how cute you are. She's like a little flamingo. Oh my goodness. Okay. Flamingo? We'll call her Inga. Which sounds really odd, but I'm naming her Inga because she reminds me of a flamingo. So like flamingo, Inga, it made sense in my head. She lacks the beak though. Oof, big oof, as my beloved Chips would say. So she has 2 normal strength, brown horn, that's 3, no white fur, ooch. So still just 3. She has 1 wing, so for 5, so she has 5. No webbed legs. Wow, it's actually going to be harder to breed up that goose than I thought. But little Inga with 5 has been born. Huzzah! 1, 2, 3. We have uncovered at least 3 spots that we can see right now. So Dove can actually go ahead and jump right on up. And she and Zabidi can immediately get to work on their next child. Lucky ducks. And we'll have little Inga jump around. There we go. Welcome to the world, little Inga. Alright, meanwhile, cousins roaming about. Chisel, part of the flock because they control the whole island. If control could be said to be what they can do. But she has to stay out of the other's territory. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So she's at the very edges of the territory she can stay out of. Wow. Talk about a hard life. Like, but they would fly to her aid if like, you know, an enemy showed up. They're not just gonna turn their back on her. All right. Meanwhile, Tross, you can only gather food from things that you hunt or noodle doodle worms. So I'm gonna let Tross. Yeah, she's gonna call 3 times. Lark is going to continue. I think he might come help his other daughter out with like clearing away some of the grass as she's calling for a mate over and over again. Because there are others, yeah, we won't be able to get much platypus beak. And I think that sounds like Lark, where he would hear her calling for a mate and do his best to help his lineage. Speaking of lineage, sorry you two. Fachine is gonna grab a snack for her friend Robin. Robin will grab a snack as well. Like, they've lived a good life and they got fishing tail for us. But they just really didn't luck out when it comes to, yeah, did not luck out when it comes to finding mates. Alright. Dove has to be on the nest the whole time. She is pregnant, so we'll let her go ahead and get comfy. Zabidi just has his literal hands full doing his best to collect like everything he can. Inga can stay around her mom. Just because she's missing a bunch of the traits we wanted doesn't mean we're gonna give up, because she can pass the good traits on to the next lineage. Oh, Io, it might be time for you to think. I mean, Io and Chisel, better than nothing? Maybe? Chisel is the Omega, and Io does have a big potential. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So, like, right at the tree, or right before the tree, Io might be able to claim from his sister this tree. So I think I may start sending Io kind of that direction, slowly but surely, even by the waterway. Phew! Man, with them being so territorial, it's actually really interesting, because we're starting to end up, and we'll have her come down and clear this out with her dad to maybe make room for new tribe members to come in. There we go. And Chisel has finally gotten out of everybody else's territory, and she's unlocked Big Nose. Chisel, that's kind of adorable. For good smelling. Well, that's really cool, Chisel. Also, you get a bird wing because, like, you know, we need to. They were saying the wing gene is so strong that it just kind of infuses this tribe. All right, Pachine is nice and cozy, just clearing things away. Robin. Nice and cozy. Those two are never gonna have any babies of their own, unfortunately. Is that a rogue? No. Yes. Wait, it's a male. Uh-oh. Oh dear. Does he have any other traits we want? He's short-sighted and blind with derp snout, medium body. He has peacock tail recessive. Oh, and she has peacock tail, female peacock tail recessive. I mean, he has brown horns. Could he be redeemed? E and H immunity? I mean, Tross isn't getting much younger, but it's a lifelong selection to select a mate for life. I feel like her father would say that, no, you should chase Kavanzi out of, I think we'll like rename him to like Zizi. Out of this area. He is not good enough for you, dear. What reputation would he even have? What strength does he have? 2? So he would have, with brown horns, just 3 reputation. I think Tross values her contribution to the flock too much for somebody with just 3 reputation. Though, you know, he'd be a fine mate for maybe Chisel. Maybe we'll invite him in and chase him away. In fact, I think that's what we'll do, because we'll hedge our bets. Tross will go ahead. We shall give him some food, but then we shall send him immediately out with a warning. A strict warning. Because I really feel that Lark would be like, no, daughter. Ooh, there's a permanent nest here, too. Do not give up. And so he would insist that Tross doesn't go for Kavanzi here, who we're going to name Zizi. Come on, buddy. We're going to rename you to Zizi. And you also would only have 3. Yeah, that's close. Maybe a backup. I think that's why we'll go ahead and release him as kind of like an emergency backup mate. But Tross wants to kind of hedge her bets. Meanwhile, little Chisel, I mean, she might end up becoming permanent mates with Zizi if he gets over here. Chisel can really take care of herself, and she's established a little spot of territory that's far enough away from all the trees that actually may be a good spot for Omegas to have their territory. Oh geez, and Zizi and Chisel are both the betas. Maybe it could be the rise of the betas at the back. Oh, that could happen. Alright, little Inga jumping around with her parents. We've got Zabidi gathering up tons and tons of food. Dove trying to gather up some food. And there we go. And Io, who has been spending a lot of his time here, I think I'm going to have him jump a faster way, a route, by swimming. There we go. Alright. And then back here, it is indeed coming up on the final days. Even though they've lived a good life, they're now too old to have children of their own. But the final days of Robin and Fachine, who have really lived out their time in peace, so we shouldn't feel too badly for them, here on the edge of the island. But alright, my friends, with the betas apparently beginning to attract themselves outside of the alphas territories, or the alphas, I should have said the omegas. With the omegas pulling themselves away from the alphas territory, will we be shocked? Will we find ourselves unexpectedly with potentially the kind of geese that we are looking for? Or are we going to lose the precious genes that we worked so hard to protect from the beginning? We will have to see next time. But alright guys, if you could, do please leave a like for our wonderful fractured feather flock. I'm really enjoying where they're going, and if you would like to join us on this and literally thousands more adventures, do please consider subscribing. But most importantly, my friends, stay curious, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!